Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to unbox the iPhone 16 Pro Max in white titanium. So the iPhone 16 series was officially available for purchase on September 20th. I received mine just today on September 24th. Now I did order this on pre-order day, however it gave me an initial delivery date of October 2nd to the 7th. So it arrived much earlier than expected, which is great. This one I have here is the white titanium 256 gig model, and this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So if you're interested in getting one of these, this one starts at $11.99 for the 256, but you can also get 512 gigs or 1 terabyte. You can also get the Pro model, which is going to be a little bit smaller, and then you have the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus as well. So as you can see on the front of the box here, we have a nice wallpaper. We've got the silver look for the Apple logo and iPhone, and of course on the back, iPhone 16 Pro Max. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. All right, and right up top, we have our beautiful white titanium iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now, Apple did change the box up a little bit this year, so as you can see, the USB-C cable is a little bit differently oriented. And then we also have our documentation, which unfortunately no longer includes a sticker, but pretty simple, just a different shape and a slightly smaller box. All right, let's peel off the screen protector here. And taking a quick look at the exterior before we turn it on, you can see we have the same camera setup, very similar to last year's model. And we have that beautiful white titanium with that Apple logo. You can see our new camera button on the side here. This is titanium again, just like last year's 15 Pro Max. One big difference, of course, is the size. We're going from a 6.7 to a 6.9 inch display. And they have reduced the bezels as well on this new model, and it looks really, really good. Just a side view here, you can see that action button has returned. We have our volume keys as well. Of course, USB-C on the bottom, speaker and mic, and nothing on the top here. All right, so let's go ahead and set it up. So we're gonna just set this up as a new phone. All right, now we come to the action button. So we can customize that. So by default, it's on silent mode, but of course you can change to focus, you can change to the camera, flashlight, voice memo, recognize music with Shazam, translate, magnifier. You can create a shortcut, or you can have it do absolutely nothing if you want to. And now we come to the option for the camera control. So this is of course new for this year. It's a capacitive button that allows you to just open up the camera pretty easily. So hit continue here. Just gonna show you that it brings up the camera. Okay, and here we are at the home screen. So you can definitely see the reduction in the bezel here on the display. It does feel much bigger than the previous phone. Now, of course, out of the box, this is gonna have iOS 18.0, with 18.1 coming later with the Apple Intelligence update. So as you can see, the build number here is 22 Alpha 3351. And for storage, we get 237 gigs free out of 256 gigs. Now, one of the bigger updates this year is the addition of the camera button. So by default, you can press this once to bring up your camera and then press slightly down, and that brings up the zoom option. So you just go up to zoom in and down to zoom out. Now, of course, you can still use the pinch to zoom, and you can still use the dedicated 1, 2, 3, 5x options at the bottom of the camera. Now, in addition, you can also press down twice to bring up the other options you have available. So the other options you're going to have are exposure, depth, zoom, cameras, styles, and tone. And if you want to select that, just press down a little bit to select that. As you can see with styles, we have a few different options. Now, one great thing here is if you go out of the camera and you go back in and use that camera button again, it brings up that same option. And again, just slightly double press to bring that up, and you can change through the different options you have. Now, in addition, you can also go into the settings and you can choose a few different things here. So you can launch the camera with a single click or double click, and then you can also change it from the camera to a code scanner, magnifier, or if, say, you have Instagram, for example, that can also be an option. So I believe other apps will be able to integrate with this camera button in the future. But say you want to use the action button as your camera button, you can just change this to something else or just turn it off completely if you don't want to use it. Now, the camera, of course, got an update as well, so you can now record in 4K 120. And of course, that's going to make videos super smooth. And of course, you can now slow it down as well. So you've got a few different options for playback speed. So you can lower it from 120 to 60 to 30 to 24 frames per second. Another nice addition is the addition of audio mix. So you can change between standard, in-frame, studio, and cinematic. And of course, we can't forget this display. So we're going from 6.7 inches to 6.9, and you can see the display is gorgeous and the bezels are reduced from last year. Now, of course, there is one glaring omission here, and that is the lack of Apple Intelligence. Now, that is slated to arrive with iOS 18.1, which will be available next month, according to Apple. So if you're interested in trying it out now with your new iPhone 16, it is in beta, so you can test it out, but the final release will not be available until next month. Now, I also want to do a quick comparison between last year's model and this year's model. So I do have the blue titanium and white titanium 15 Pro Max, and I had the white titanium, natural titanium iPhone 16 Pro Max. So, of course, there are 4 colors for the 16 Pro Max, but this is just 2 of them. So the natural titanium was introduced last year, as well as the white titanium, and they do look pretty similar to last year's model. But if you're on the fence, these are 2 of the colors for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And this is the white titanium from the 15 Pro Max and the 16 Pro Max. So you can actually see that the 16 Pro Max is a bit brighter white over last year's model. And of course, you can probably tell the size difference between the two. Now you can see from the side, we have the camera button on the new model, and on the previous model, we had this little 5G window for cellular service. And on the side, you can see same button layout. It just looks a hint darker on the frame and the back on the 15 Pro Max. And here's the blue titanium 15 Pro Max versus the white titanium. So again, just looks really bright white, looks pretty good. Of course, I'm going to miss this blue titanium. I thought that was a very beautiful color, especially when in the light. Taking a look at the side, you're gonna have that dark frame over this, silver frame. Now, I've also got a few flagships to compare it to as well. So we've got the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and that is in the porcelain color. And you can see that it looks like the 16 Pro Max is just a really bright white compared to both last year's 15 Pro Max white titanium and the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL here. But as you can see, both I think look very nice. Now, the Pixel actually has this kind of shiny frame versus the titanium on the iPhone, but I think both look pretty nice. And I have the light blue Galaxy S24 Ultra, and here it is compared to the 16 Pro Max. And this is also using titanium, but it has the darker frame on this colorway. But just to give you an idea of a quick comparison between those two. And then the Samsung is going to have a more narrow display. So there you guys have it, a quick unboxing and look at the iPhone 16 Pro Max in white titanium. If you guys have any questions or comments on this, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.